Getting wet? All right, let's go in. Come on. I need a flashlight.
This place doesn't have any toys.
Oh, yes, it does.
What kind of toys?
You'll understand when you're older.
Can I have it?
You want it?
Yeah.
That can be your flashlight.
Yeah.
Daddy's gonna get this one.
How do you turn this on?
And the flashlight offers a repair plan, $13.99. Anything goes wrong with it, you bring it back and you get a new one.
You better give me a year.
A year?
Yeah, I think I'll need that. If you saw my last video, I just bought 25 acres in the mountains. And during my first night camping there, I had to go use my poop bucket, which I'd placed by the waterfall, about 100 yards away from my campsite. Because if you have a remote property with a natural waterfall on it, why would you put your poop bucket anywhere else? Except by this time, it was 10 o'clock at night and dark as I now had to walk through unfamiliar woods to the other side of the property, and this is what I could see when my phone flashlight finally killed off the battery, which means I also couldn't use my GPS map to find my way back to camp in the dark. Lessons learned from that experience. 1, keep a second poop bucket close to the campsite. And 2, buy a proper flashlight. It's sealed on both sides. Not me. This new Braun 7000 lumen light is a complete redesign of the old Quantum 6000 lumen unit, and by complete redesign, I mean they wiped off the Quantum rating with some acetone and painted the Braun name on instead. Hey man, I went to DeVry. Resubmitting old assignments claiming they're all new is how I got my degree, and you people thought I was qualified. Manual says, do not submerge. But the box says it's waterproof IPX7 rated. So I know what our first torture test is going to be. Ready? Let that marinate for a few hours. Welcome to Pennsylvania. If you don't like the weather, go back to where you came from.
Five hours later.
Ruh-roh, Lorge. Paper towel.
Paper towel.
USB.
USB.
It's in God's hands now. Would you like to purchase a protection plan? Who's the sucker now? I did everything I could to revive it. And it worked. So who's the sucker? Looks like it's going to be me. I thought the intrusion point would be the charge port cover, but you can see it's got an integrated O-ring to keep water out. It held up tighter than a nun's bun. So I imagine when this hinge breaks, and it will, so does your IP rating. Like most lithium-ion powered lights, this one has a low voltage shutoff, and it was thrown in the creek right from the package without being charged first, so whoops. That's why it conked out. Had nothing to do with water. Test passed. USB-A to charge your phones or your other flashlights, in case you need a flashlight but don't want to use your flashlight. Check this out. Rechargeable battery bank, plugged into the Braun, charging. Braun, plugged into the rechargeable battery bank, also charging. Infinite energy. Call me Elon, you're the only one I can trust with this technology. Switch operation is simple. Low, medium, high, and off. If you press it and hold the switch, it powers right up to full throttle. And then medium, low, and off. And if you double tap, battery is a removable 26650 5000 milliamp hour chunker, lithium ion, not TSA or FDA approved. On low, she sips a scant 150 milliamps. Medium draws 10 times that, and high, well, keeps going up and up. It's normal for LEDs to draw more and more current until they burn out, which is why you need some sort of current limiting resistor or control circuitry. Let's see where this one regulates. Looks like 6.1 amps. Here's low on full spot. Not super impressive, but it'll run 46 hours like that, which is. Medium lights up the edges of the forest nicely. And high, well, partner, that'll blind a raccoon from 300 yards. Here's low on full flood. Not good for much except reading or taking the dog out. Medium is the most useful setting in terms of balancing usable output with battery life. And this is for when you want to whip your dick out at the campsite and wash out your camera. And if that doesn't drop enough panties for you at the campsite, the flippin' bezel glows in the dark. They don't even advertise that feature. Probably because it's not very useful, but I'm all for it. Time to verify the runtime claims on the most practical setting, medium. That's 5 3/4 hours against a claim of 6 hours. Now let's test how long it takes to bring it back to 100%. Boop. So it both discharges and recharges 4% faster than advertised. That means the battery has 4% less capacity than expected. Not bad, but I'm a stickler. It's advertised as having a strike edge for emergency use, but it doesn't specify what sort of emergencies those are. I think I can figure it out. Oh no, I locked my keys in the boogie mobile. My keys in the boogie mobile. Oh yeah, got it on the first take.
Have a good day.
Hey, Dan. I got a scissor jack, and I accidentally broke a side window, so I think I owe you for that.
That should happen. 764.
All right, let's get her apart. That rubber band did jack shit. I know I bought this to tear it down, but that first scratch hurts. The heat from the LED will soften up the glue and make it easier to get the lens open. Nope. God damn. There's that glue. Not sure what to replace it with when I reassemble it. Double O-rings on the nose. Definitely lubricate those before you put it back together or they'll shred, and there goes your seal. That's it. Rather anticlimactic, I guess. Looks like a 40 to 50 watt cob sandwiched onto an aluminum slug as a heatsink. If it works, it works. That little speck of thermal joint compound is what keeps this thing from going Chernobyl on you. Convex glass lens, sandwiched with a screw ring and an O-ring inside and outside. Red is negative? Ugh, look at the machining on that aluminum feed-through. No finishing work at all. Those holes are razor sharp. A hole is a hole, but I wouldn't stick my wires in that one. They bothered with nice silicone insulation, but look, it's already nicked. This thing was $70, and that's Harbor Freight dollars. It's like $100. This is held in with that same glue. Try this again. Bent my pliers. You're not supposed to use those like that, man. Yet another O-ring on a cheap aluminum heatsink. Discrete interface board on the underside, held in with another screw ring. Silicone grease on the focus mechanism threads. It's inert and it's insoluble in water, but it melts when it gets hot. So if yours starts feeling grindy, you probably need more lube down there. It's crowning. Whoop. That fell out. Doesn't look important though. Looks like the USB bezel is proud of the frame, so you have to pull that off before you pop your electronics through or it'll shear off like mine did. I can fix that. Not a super complicated board. A USB charge controller, chip, and other associated components on one side. And on the other side, a microprocessor to run 2 MOSFETs, which control your LED and its various functions. It's a really weird mix of top-notch and bargain basement in this flashlight. For example, the spring contacts are all gold-plated, so they won't corrode. But then they use one of those disposable momentary push-button switches. This is the switch that always fails on the Braun folding work lights, and the Icon work light has a much beefier switch, lest you think Braun is anything more than the budget brand. And then there's the nice silicone insulation on wires that feed through sharp, jagged aluminum holes. If yours craps out, it's probably one of those two things. It's like this flashlight was co-designed by Goofus and Gallant. He arrogantly proclaims as he straightens out the USB port he bent to bejesus him back by not paying attention. Here's that aluminum heatsink. I'm going to have to clean all of that up before I put this back together, or I won't be able to sleep at night. Fresh thermal joint compound, the more the merrier. That's not correct. And I've got some factory sliced insulation to patch up. $70. If you ever take this apart at all, even the battery compartment, make sure you thoroughly grease all these O-rings. They are not thick and they are not durable, and if you compress them between 2 aluminum components, dry, they will shred like a julienne salad. Little silicone vacuum grease works wonders. So, $70, plus tax and the $13 for the service plan, I'm $88 into a flashlight that's admittedly brighter than the noonday sun and super useful, but it came out of the box with poorly machined parts, sliced insulation, and a delicate little switch. $40 bucks, it's a bitchin' flashlight, but for what they're asking, there are any number of Sofern, Ace Beam, Olight options on Amazon. It's not good enough to buy again, but it's too good not to use until the wheels fall off, which hopefully happens before my protection plan expires. Thanks for watching. It's advertised as having a strike edge for emergency use, but it doesn't specify what sort of emergencies those are.